Hey, coming to you at what's left of Silver Creek. This is where my great grandmother lived. Um, Her name was Sarah Mead. She was known as the Witch of Silver Creek. Everybody thought she was a gypsy. She wasn't, she was an Indian. She lived here by herself up until her late 90s when she got married back in the 1980s. And she she was pretty much scorned and feared by the entire neighborhood up here. I remember when I was a little boy, I would go with her to the post office and stuff, and people would people would say, they wouldn't talk to her in the post office. They would look the other way. Everybody, they would mumble about her behind her back, and she would make little symbols like this and, and mutter stuff that sounded like black magic curses. Everybody said that she was hoodooing them, which I didn't understand back then what they meant. And anyway, this is the creek itself, what's left of it. She got married in her late 90s to another senior citizen. And when they went into a nursing home, of course, their home was sold to pay for that. They took the creek out, built a big, looks like big highway over here. And I don't know that it leads to anywhere, but they built one. And I don't know why, but they built a church here too. I guess they feared she'd cursed them. I asked her one time, I said, Grandma, aren't you afraid that people might try to hurt you? And she said, no, I've got a spell for that. And she took an old book off the shelf and opened it up, and it had been hollowed out inside, and there was a large frame Colt 38 revolver that had the barrel cut down and had the hammer spur cut off and had the front part of the trigger guard cut away. She said, that's my protection spell. My grandmother would bring me over to my great grandmother's house with her when she would visit. And she had a trap door in the middle of her living room floor. And when I would be visiting, it would be so hot and humid. She only had a fan. And sometimes my great grandmother would tell me to go down in the creek and play. So I would go down into the creek and sit in the creek in my shorts and play with crawdads and stuff. And every so often, I guess they'd get to wondering about me, and they'd open that trap door up, look down, and say, "Are you okay?" Because her house literally straddled the creek here. And I remember that. I didn't think it was odd at the time, but now I wonder. But when my grandmother would drop me off at my great grandmother's house, me being a little boy, I think I was like 5 or 6 at the time. I was, I was fascinated by cowboys, still am. And I would beg her to let me shoot her Colt 38, which she would. She would take me out back here, probably right where the end of this parking lot is now. And she'd let me shoot this, I guess it was an old World War II era surplus revolver. And I just thought it was so cool and so fun. And the place is gone now. All that's left are memories of it. And when my grandmother passes and when I pass, there won't even be that anymore. But every time I drive past this stretch of road when I'm going to Huntington, West Virginia, it just saddens me and breaks my heart to look over and see that her house and the area is just gone, and they put a highway through and everything. But that's the nature of life here in what's left of Silver Creek, West Virginia, right outside the community of Crum. And I guess I'll be heading home with my memories.